Morning after Tuesday, January 27th, Riley and I are trying to figure out what to do about taxes. Card and I are going back and forth trying to figure out what to do about taxes as well. Um, but just what is this?
It's a little pour over with my Tinker coffee. That's all. Keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
We got to discuss this coffee pot thing you got from like 1970.
Okay, it's not from 1970. It's a portable. Look, I got my mug right here,
I'm
and
not
it's
talking
got a.
about that. I'm talking about what the thing you just used to pour it in. That I mean, my grandma, that like when they don't own their home anymore, but when they did, she had one of those.
We're really gonna shame my Cuisinart kettle. What's wrong with this?
Yeah. So I got a big announcement for the show today, Riley.
What's
Big
that?
announcement. We'll wait. We'll save it for the middle, but I have a big announcement for the show today. Um, Coffee brewing is one thing that really didn't need upgrades. Tinker got me into coffee, so I'm bougie with this stuff. Like I do the instant. Like yeah. Why is he holding the kettle? Um,
I'm making pour over a keel. Learn coffee,
Ryan
please. I
Hammer is
beg
on
you.
Tuesday. Is Ryan Hammer on morning after on Tuesdays?
Not today. Tell
Not
you
today.
that much. It's me.
I do got to lock Hammer in. If Hammer does one Tuesday, Riley, we'll have to have a sit down. I think.
I'm getting the boot for Hammer.
I'm not saying you're getting the boot for Hammer. I'm just saying we haven't ruled it out. No, we would probably do a three man.
Oh, that'd be sick. I'd be happy to do that. I don't get to do much with Hammer. I get like I think I've probably done 2 or 3 previews and recaps with him this year. And aside from that, I know he has his own thing, so I'm not trying to say to hate or nothing. But of course, I'd be happy to have him on if we wanted to three
Now,
man
he,
it.
he told me oh, that's his guess.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't. Okay, the show moving to 10:15 to 10:45, that hasn't been ruled out either. And Hammer is interested in being on the show weekly. He told me once or twice, but honestly, like this is where like I'm such a Greg merchant, it's insane. I just haven't texted him yet, asking like if we wanted to like go over days because I've been busy. So like I'm probably gonna reach out to Hammer today because I do want Hammer on here. But the last thing I told him was like, "It's Ryan. That's Ryan fucking Hammer, dog. Like if he wants to hop on morning after, he could shoot me a text at like 7:01, like yo, I'm loading up the stream yard, and I would just click the three man box.
All right. I mean, that works for me.
That's basically what I told you too. I was like, Riley, you tell me what days you want. JK and I will work around it.
It's true. It's true. I appreciate I the joke that Akil said of Dion soft launching a Riley demotion. Hilarious in theory. Glad that's like hopefully not actually happening, but but yeah, I'm happy to do a um, 3 man box. And even I'm still not ruling out hopping on here every once in a while on Wednesdays from the Y. It's just today. Usually my wife's with Theo right now. Usually he has preschool these mornings, so that makes it a little bit easier for me to go on Tuesdays. But because of this ice storm, his preschool got canceled today.
We're 100% not soft launching a Riley demotion. 100%. I've been trying to get Riley to add a day to his workload of the morning after, to be honest with you. Um, but if Riley and Hammer both needed Tuesday, then like we would have to figure some like it would probably be three man or see if either one of you are able to do a different day, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
um, I also was like I was reading the comment. I'm like, did we announce Hammer like for Tuesdays? And then I gave Riley Tuesday yesterday. Like, did I like, cause there's zero organization when it comes to me.
But
So
that's why people love this. I love the morning after because all you got to do to prep is watch games the night before, and then we just chop it up and see where it takes us. That's
so
what you see is what you get with this show.
this is G told me to make this show mine. Um, and like when I was talking to Hammer about it and when talking to you, you're both like, I love this show because it's just free flowing vibes.
Mm-hmm.
No better way to describe something I would do than that, right? Like there's just no better way to describe like a Dion show. We have Dion Brotherhood stand up. We are dominating the ACC.
Is that so? Where are you at on this Duke team? Do you still claim the brotherhood? Are you like I claim the brother? So yeah, let me hear it.
I'm a Brotherhood member. I don't know that I find this team that fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest about that, but they do win a lot. That's kind of the Boozer mantra, though, right? Even Carlos, even Carlos, like the
I
Jazz
had it
won a lot of
honestly.
games, and you just
Carlos
didn't want them to.
Dion Carlos is so forgettable that, as you said, even Carlos, I was like, my initial thought was, who's Carlos? That took me a second to register. Like, oh yeah, they have an NBA dad who was just like 19-8 at his peak and just kind of went out there and hooped, and that was that. Nothing flashy about it.
Honestly, I think Los was closer to like 20-10.
Was Lowe's actually? Hold on, I'm about to look this up. I
I,
think
I
Lowe's
think
made. I think he made an All-Star team.
no, he made multiple All-Star teams. Him and Darren Williams were like constantly in the All-Star game together.
Let's see, two-time NBA All-Star.
Multiple.
Career averages of 16 and 9. I mean, that's pretty good. What was he? He was a second round pick too. Jeez, that's
To the
actually
Cavs,
incredible for a
right?
second round. What'd you say?
He was picked to the Cavs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge.
Man, all I remember is him being on the Jazz. And the Bulls, like Jazz and Bulls. I have no memory of him on the Cavs.
He went to the Bulls. Funny enough, like people often forget this. I believe the year he went to the Bulls was actually the Bosh Wade Braun free agency, and the Bulls were supposed to get I want to say Wade and Bosh if Braun went back to Cleveland, and then they had to pivot to Carlos and Boozer. Whew.
Well, remember,
I mean, that stinks.
Sometimes you say you just gotta let that breathe for a second. You thought you were getting Bosh and Wade, and you got Carlos Boozer.
I mean, that stinks, man.
Well, remember when LeBron made the decision? Like the Bulls jersey was used in the graphic. It was like the Cavs, Knicks, Bulls, and Heat. Those were like the graphics, like the photoshops for which one is Bron going to choose.
Yeah.
And then in a gingham button down, he picked the Heat.
I think there was a world they were going to get Braun and Bosh too. Like the Bulls were supposed to get 2 of the 3 because they couldn't afford all 3. And then I want to say Wade signed the night before Braun did with Miami. So then it was like, okay, they're going to try to get Braun and Bosh. What's interesting about that trio going together is Braun committed to Miami. No one knew if Bosh was actually going at that point. It was largely assumed like the 3 of them are going to play together. But I think Braun and Wade committed, and Bosh, I mean, maybe the 2 of them knew Bosh would, but like Pat Riley was unaware that like, oh, Bosh is coming too.
Mm-hmm. I just remember it was like this was back, man, like the late 2000s into the early 2010s of sports coverage. Was all we had was ESPN. All we had was Sports Center. It was kind of a simpler time, but those rumors get thrown out that the 3 of them are playing together. And I think even, how old are we? We would have been like 16 years old, I think.
No,
18? I was. We were 18 in 2010.
I was a senior in high school.
Was this? It was before our senior year of high school. Yeah.
Right. It was the summer right before. Yeah.
So yeah, almost 18. And I think in my mind was like, nah, this isn't going to happen. This is just speculation or whatever. And then I remember I was at a Dairy Queen. They had the decision playing at the Dairy Queen and watching it happen. It's like, this is really about to go down. Were you before like the Cavs and Warriors rivalry, were you ever a LeBron guy, or were you always just?
Yeah. So I'm a massive Bron guy. Like I feel like I've said this before on here. I played Oakland Soldiers basketball growing up. So I started playing Oakland Soldiers either 2003 or 2004. But nonetheless, it was about a year after Bron played for the Oakland Soldiers because Bron played Oakland Soldiers and immediately went to the NBA essentially. Mm-hmm. So for Bron's debut, I must have started in 2003 because Bron bought a section out for his debut, and we got to go to the game. Like anybody associated with the Oakland Soldiers got to go. Pretty sick. So I was at his debut. I wore his shoes, like, probably, I don't think respectfully, his shoes weren't good. So like, I think we did, like his early shoes at least weren't the greatest. I think we did the like Bron shoe deal thing for like a year or 2 before we like moved on. But like I wore his shoes in the summer a lot. He made sure we had like backpacks, so on and so forth. Like Bron gives back a lot. So a lot of like my like closet, you know, I went to school with a Braun backpack basically until high school. You know, so on and so forth. So like I would say I probably stopped being a Braun fan when he went back to Cleveland. I really didn't like that.
Gotcha. I was a Braun fan as a kid. I had the LeBron ones as well. Picked up 5 travels in those bad boys in a 6th grade church league. when he joined the Heat, of course, like everybody bashed him, and I was tempted to do that for a little bit. But as soon as they got to the finals that year, I was like, all right, I'm back in on Braun. That's my guy, and I've rocked with him ever since. But this is going back to you saying you played for the Oakland Soldiers. I just had this epiphany, Dion. If you were 6'8", are you just Tyron Stokes?
Probably. The drama that surrounds Tyron Stokes is I'm probably more so a ball brother.
Okay, cool.
LiAngelo maybe. But there was, you know, so I've been this size since 5th, 6th grade. You know, this size, like 5'8". But I've been this size since 5th, 6th grade. And like they, you know, there were people that like thought I was somebody. I went to Cal Elite Camp. You know, like when you play AAU, you get invited to, like I got to go to UNC Elite Camp when what was Roy Williams? When Roy Williams was the coach.
That's actually pretty sick. No wonder you know that the aura
for sure
that it used to mean something. Yeah.
I went to UNC Elite Camp for 4 straight years. But I went to Cal Elite Camp, and I don't know if anybody knows him. This is real hoop knowledge. But Pete Newell is like the greatest coach in Cal University history. He's like one of the all-time great coaches like the sport's ever seen. His son like pulls me to the side at like the camp. I forget why. Couldn't tell you why. Pulled me to the side and like takes me on a tour of like the whole arena. And just like by the end of it, he's like, this easily could all be yours one day. I was 11.
Dang.
I was 11.
That's special.
Stop growing. But yeah, no, I like 11 and I always say this, like it's unfortunate my peak was so early, but 11 and 12-year-old me had smoke for anybody's 11 and 12-year-old. So like I always say, like pound for pound, my peak's up there with Braun. His peak just came in the NBA.
But yours at one point, that's like, dude, that's okay. So can I share a Prague Lions story?
Absolutely.
Of like where, if we're just talking about our peaks before we get into the actual hoop talk. So yours was when you're 11 years old. Pete Newell tells you this could all be yours. Mine was age 27 when I'm living in Prague, Czech Republic. I realized they have these essentially rec league / semi-pro football teams. I don't even know how to describe it. The Czech Association of American Football. It's like a 10-team league. It's full contact, helmets, pads, everything. And every team is allowed to have 2 guys who play, like essentially 2 ringers, 2 guys who played college football overseas. They're there, they get paid. There's a loophole where if they coach the junior team, you can have 3. We had 3 guys who played in college on our team. So I get there. I meet our head coach used to, yeah, go ahead.
You had 3 Americans that played college and you were not one of the 3?
Correct. Because I didn't play in college.
That feels like cheating, though. That means that was a sneaky way for you guys to have like more American football players on the team.
Yeah, essentially. But so the head coach of the Prague Lions used to work for the same ministry that I work for. So that was my initial connection. He's lived in Czech Republic for probably 20 years now. Played D3 football at some school in Wisconsin. But the first practice I go to, I meet the defensive coordinator, who's a guy named Dan Dish, and we quickly make the connection. Dan Dish was the defensive coordinator at UNC under Larry Fedora when I was a student. He coached D1 for like 20 years, coached at Florida, Florida State, Southern Miss, some other place, Illinois. And then he was divorced and basically coaching. He's like, yeah, I'm divorced. I'm just going to coach in Europe and I'm retired, made my money coaching D1. I'm making a little bit coaching in Europe and traveling. I'm like, okay, that sounds fun. But in practice, Coach Dish was telling me like, hey, I need you to learn edge. I need you to learn nickel. We got to get you on the field. And I was like, okay, that's the highest compliment I think I've ever gotten of that was my athletic peak, was my former D1 defensive coordinator in the Czech Association of American Football telling me that he had to get me on the field and wanted me to learn like 3 different positions. So those are our respective athletic peaks.
No, I guess that was my peak. Was like that was the coolest moment I've ever had playing sports. I got a few letters, but I was getting letters based upon people thinking I was growing when my doctor had already told me you're done. So like the letters didn't really mean much. The most fun I've ever had playing the sport though, and I guess this is gonna sound bad. It wasn't like but like it was fun. My dad never let me play in rec leagues, like church leagues and stuff like that, because he said like I would just beat up on kids. He said I was too good. So my sister's playing in this rec league, and my dad's coaching, and I it was the night of the dunk contest, so I didn't go. I usually went to all her games. It was co-ed league. I usually went to all her games to watch. I didn't go because I was watching the dunk contest. I forget who was in it, but it was a trash dunk contest. Though. I know that much. I guess some dude like elbowed her, and she came home crying, and I was livid. I used to like if people bothered my sister, like they like I'm not gonna say what I did like on camera, of course, but like they heard from me, felt me too. Like they felt me.
Wait, how many siblings do you have?
I just got one. She's
Okay.
2 years younger than me, so they felt me. But like she comes home crying, and I go to my dad. I'm like, can I just like play next time you guys play this kid? Like, just get me on the team. I only want to play in this game. Like that's it. So like a few weeks later, he lets me play. It's like a little boys and girls club league. They're like, yo, the max you can play is 3/4. I said, okay. Got it. So this kid like rolls in, and his dad's like talking trash to me. I don't even know the kid. I just said like, yo, I didn't like the way you touched my sister. I'm not gonna do anything to you, but like just know like it's on. Like it's on and popping 48 feet. So his dad and mom like say some shit to me. So, and I'm not even joking when I say this. I had 23 points in the first quarter. Like, and like the whole time I'm jawing at him. And at one point, I can't say on camera what I said to his father, but I'll text it to you. And this was like this is all the first quarter. I like they told me I could only play 3/4, so I did it in the first quarter. Then I told them like I don't need to play anymore. Like my points proven. And, but like I'm running back down court towards the end of the quarter, and I said I can't say it on camera, but I'll tell you. I'll text you what I told his dad.
All right.
Fuck, I'm a slow texter. Okay, but I have a big announcement to make. I mean, I guess I probably could say. Well, Riley, can you approve me saying this or not saying it?
Yes. Let me see if I got it. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Why the? Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Don't think so. Okay.
No,
yeah, probably not something great to say. Hilarious that a 12-year-old kid came up with that in a boys and girls club league. But
yeah, I think it's the right decision that I'm vetoing you saying this on camera. But
I think I had it figured out when I said I shouldn't say it. But my dad overheard me saying it, and we like got home that night. He's like, "What is something wrong with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, a lot, dude." But anyway, big announcement to make. I've decided to save Purdue's season. I decided over the weekend they need me. February 17th, I'll be in the building with Greg Waddell.
What? Dude, that's sick.
I'll be in the building with G. I fly in Tuesday the 17th. I land in Indy around 2 or 3. Can't remember what time. Immediately we'll hop in a whip. My dog ML, maybe G, not sure who's picking me up yet. We'll immediately go to Mackey. Me and G will be in attendance. I floated it yesterday, but everything's been purchased. It's official.
Wow, that is a massive announcement.
I think this is the vibes that Purdue needs. Because
will you vlog the content?
There is massive plans for content.
Cool.
I plan to ask Braden for a jersey swap.
Which jersey will you be giving him?
That's the problem. I have no idea. Why would he ever want to swap a jersey? But I think the play here is to get an Omer Meyer jersey because he loves Omer.
I think the jersey swap, it either has to be your black or pink hoodie that you give to Braden.
There's no way he watches like the content I'm on though.
Dude, but the pink hoodie, that pink hoodie has done numbers on this show. I feel like the black hoodie has been much more characteristic of like the morning after, but real ones remember the pink hoodie got us through draft night.
It did. Both nights. Both nights.
The pink hoodie has seen some things.
I can't give him the Cena jersey. This thing was like hundreds of dollars, low-key. Well, I guess if it's like his game-worn jersey, maybe. But this thing is like, it's a Travis Scott, John Cena, last time is now collab. Cactus Jack. Like,
if Travis Scott can do one thing, it's mark up the price on some apparel. So,
for sure.
I understand.
He does like sign cars, but yeah, no, I'm gonna be kicking it with Greg. We're gonna watch Michigan Purdue, and then I think we're gonna make a good amount of content. I'm hoping we get to do something with Braden, of course, but obviously, like, gonna be a little busy. Like, he's gonna be a little busy. Kind of has the biggest game of his career that night, so I mean, we'll see. But yeah, Hyena will be my first time in Mackey. I'm not going to wear a 3-unit shirt, but have you washed the Cena jersey? I wash it, air dry it. But it is my first time to Mackey. If anybody's there, let's take a shot together. Or, maybe we'll have a beer or something like that. I don't know where we're sitting. G just told me we got tickets. We're good to go. So the fights weren't that bad either. Like, a couple $100.
Yeah. I know flights I've been looking at some RDU flights to Indy for the Final Four. Also not expensive. So, yeah.
I mean, North Carolina can't be far from Indy, right?
It's actually like a 10-hour drive. I did
Really?
look this up once. Yeah, because anyway, it's a long story why I looked up a drive to Indy, but I did that once upon a time and decided against it.
But like 10-hour drive, what is that? Like a 2 or 3 hour flight?
Yeah, something like that. Should we talk about these games?
Yeah, people aren't really coming into Indiana for fun generally. No comment. No comment. But I will say this though, like you do a little bit of research on the state. Should just be really happy Purdue is good at basketball and Indiana is good at football because, brother, there's not a lot else going on.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, let's talk. You want to talk? I don't think there's much to talk. JK put Duke destroys Louisville. I really don't got much to talk about with that game. Louisville bad, Duke good.
Yeah, I think this Louisville team. So I got a couple stats. I'll probably repeat these when me and J-Man do the recap later today. Pat Kelsey is 0-17 against KenPom top 20 teams in his career.
Is J-Man on every Duke preview recap?
I think so. Yeah, he usually signs up for him.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, he's really good at it. I mean, no one knows. I don't think there's I know I'm a little, bias aside, I don't think there's really any Duke content creators that understand this team as much as he does. So it's all.
Well, I tried to teach him about the team, and I think he pretty much told me I was incorrect, which is probably true. But I tried to let him know, like, the issue is, like, it's Cam and then a bunch of dudes that have no idea what to do with the basketball in there.
True, but half those dudes, if they can knock down a corner three or a top of the key three, they're fine. Yeah. And Duke is, I think I said this last week, I'm not wavering from it. They're my national title pick right now.
Really?
Is this a reverse jinx or a jinx? Whichever. Is this a jinx? Yeah, probably. There's definitely some of that I'm hoping for here. But the way that I view it is Duke will probably win a national title at some point in my life again. They're
no shit.
So why not go ahead and knock one of those out now and hope that it forces my. I'm like, if I'm gonna have to see at least one more, maybe multiple Duke championships in my lifetime, go ahead and get one this year and hope that like prompts the UNC admin to do something about our basketball program.
That was so funny because you said all that as if you're like 70. Like, yes, Riley, Duke is likely to win a national title in the next 70 to 80 years that you will be alive. Unless college basketball just ceases to exist, I would likely take the over on that one. And then at the end, you're just like, I just want to knock one off the list. I got no issue.
I will take one for the team now. Let's say, okay, if I make it to, so I'm 33 now. My dad's side of the family has really good genes. My grandmother lived till she was 106, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. My dad's dad lived till he was 94. So let's say I make it to 95 or something. So that's 62 more years.
Your mom's side of the family?
My mom's side, my grandma died when she was like 83, I want to say, and my grandfather is still alive and he's 85.
To be honest, 83 is a good number for me. Anything over that, like, I like the 83 number.
You're good to just mail it in at once you're in your early 80s.
So like, even if you live to 90 or 100, you already mailed it in. Like, that's the thing. Like, what are you really doing at that point, right?
Dude,
like, you're watching Judge Judy and like going to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I there's those 80, 90, 100-year-olds that do like really athletic feats that people talk about. I'm not going to be one of them because at 33, I can barely move. So I can only imagine, I can only imagine what the kid's going to be doing at 93 or 100. Like, there's just no shot. Like my grandpa, and I love my grandpa. He like goes on hikes and he's in his maybe mid to high 80s. I'm bad with it. Ages. I got to be honest. But he goes on like hikes and stuff. And like my mom's like, because my grandparents live in like a senior complex. And my mom's like, yo, I'll drive you to go get the food. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll walk. I would take the ride at 33.
So with where your grandparents live, is it like resort style living, or that's
no, it's individuals' homes.
Okay,
so basically gotcha. It's set up for the rest of their life. So in the moment they're able to live in like where you don't have anybody watching you really, but you're on, like, you have on-site nurses and stuff in case something were to happen type of deal. Independent living, but like also the help is there.
Yeah.
It becomes resort style if you need the dependent living style.
Okay. That's so my grandparents, before my grandmother died, she died like 2.5 years ago. They had moved, they were in like a senior living community, completely independent in their own house, but they moved into like a resort style living to get care for her. That's like around the clock available. And my grandfather stayed there. And I felt his life low-key sounds lit. Like, he was telling me every Saturday night, like, he and his friends, they basically have like they like have a happy hour and get the night started. Then they go out to eat. They come back and like watch a movie. They start watching the movie at like 9 or 10. Then at midnight, they're still just like chopping it up like over mixed drinks.
I kind of love that. I'll be honest. Like, if these like senior homes become all inclusive, I think I changed my opinion on the 83 thing. But if it's like outside of that, I think I'm good, man. I think, to me, peak living, peak life for me is 60s. You're retired, you're golfing every day, you're doing the thing where like you have a wife, but you're like kind of avoiding her. Because at this point, it's like there's not much else. Like, we've been kicking it for a while now. I'll see you tonight.
I hope whenever you get married, Dion, that your marriage is still doing well into your 60s and you enjoy each other's company.
Well, I think I've worked in gyms before. I think the best marriages are the ones where like, you still love each other, but the guy acknowledges like, we don't need to be home all day together. So they go to the gym to work out, do like, like I would be at these gyms and like, I'd walk through the men's locker room and it'd be like all these 70-year-olds. And like one time I stopped and said, yo, like, you guys can shave at home. And they go, yeah, but my wife's there. That's like an elite marriage, I think. Like, when you're 67 and it's just like, let's just acknowledge, like, we want to hang out, but like, we don't need to spend all day together. So I'm going to go home.
That's where I think like having your own hobbies for sure. And then, but you also, something that I've been thinking a lot about is just, and my wife and I have talked about this, like, so we're coming up on 10 years this summer, is like basically finding things that we enjoy doing together. And it's such a simple thing to say, but like we enjoy going on hikes together, yet we probably hike like twice a year. And I'm kind of like, why don't we try to start making this like once a month or something, So anyway, not to get too much further on the rabbit trail, but this is what people come here for. So,
I mean, people always say like they want to hear hoops, but our best shows, like views wise, are this.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what to do about that. Like, to be honest with you guys, Riley and I would like to make money. So.
People they're popping off with some hoop chat in the chat. If you want me to.
Pickle Rick says, if AJ actually plays good last night, does BYU win? No, because AJ was really good in the first half and they were down 13.
Yeah, I went back and rewatched that like the last 5 minutes this morning. I still don't understand how BYU made this a game. Like Arizona was up 15 with under 4 minutes to go. And even as whether it was this was earlier in the second half, but like Alexi Kostic would hit a three. I think Richie Saunders hit a big three coming off his screen. Whether it was Jaden Bradley or Braden Burries or Koa Pete. Koa Pete had that like contested midi as I think the shot clock might have even been going down, like expiring for that one. Um, like Arizona answered every big shot BYU made. And as I was rewatching that, I still am like, dude, how did Arizona how did BYU have a chance to win this? It's like, I guess missed free throws down the end, a couple turnovers here and there, and just Kebaketa making his presence known around the rim. But that BYU run at the end, give them credit for not giving up, but and I like this BYU team, but it felt a little fluky just based on Arizona was dominating pretty much every facet of that game.
It was. Well, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just like defensively they were frustrating AJ. Rob Wright couldn't get anything going, controlling the glass. Like Bradley, those 26 points that Jaden Bradley had, some of his answers felt massive, but he does it so quietly where you look up. This has happened multiple times this year where you just look up and Jaden Bradley all of a sudden has 30 points. Yeah. And he just has it's a smooth, effortless game. He's just productive.
Big Jaden Bradley guy. Yeah, I don't know. There was moments last night where I understand why Rob Wright's still in college. I'll say that. Braden Burries looks like a different human than he does. And so does Kobe Pete. And I know that's like they play different positions, but at the end of the day, sometimes like that size and athleticism does line up in a way. And that last play of the game, right? BYU wins if he doesn't hesitate.
Yeah.
But he pushes off, he gets the space. It was a push off, but he got the space and then hesitated, which allowed Burries to get the block. That's a college play. A pro just goes straight up, right? And you know, maybe a pro gets called for a charge, which I believe it was a charge. But like if you don't get called for the charge, like I think a pro goes straight up. AJ goes straight up. That's why AJ should have had the ball. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
What is your final four though?
Mine, I would say I'm still picking Arizona there. Like, I just think this is the year Tommy Lloyd gets over the hump. Rip to my Tommy Lloyd to Carolina agenda. He probably signs a massive extension to stay in Tucson this summer. But I think it'll be Arizona, Duke. After that, Illinois.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say Purdue. Part of me wants to say Iowa State. I still like this. If Tommy's getting over the hump this year, Otts will not. They got to take turns for who gets over the hump.
Houston.
Okay, yeah. I think Houston feels safe. Yeah.
Kingston's different, man.
Yeah. Houston, Illinois, Duke, Arizona.
Yeah, I got a similar one. I got I honestly have three of the four. I have Arizona, Illinois, Houston, and Yukon.
Yukon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a sentiment where, you know, you just get to the tournament and Dan Hurley's like, this is kind of what I do? And what you saw in the past doesn't matter, like the past 2 months of being bored in Big East play?
I don't know. They're 19-1 to me. And I know like the way they've looked in Big East play has been rough. They lost by 4 to Arizona without 2 starters. They beat BYU. They beat Florida. Like they beat Illinois. They beat 2 of the teams I have in the Final Four and probably should have beat a third one. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's just one of those it's one of those situations where it's like, because I agree, you know, an overtime win against Providence is bad. Like, you know, like struggling against Villanova, bad. But then you look at what they did against the best of the best in the sport, and it's like they either beat them or should have beat them. Mm-hmm. Like, are we sure this isn't just the best team in college basketball? And what I like about UConn, I love teams, regardless of sport, where they don't play their best basketball. And that's why I love Houston. I don't think Houston's played their best basketball yet.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think UConn's played their best basketball yet. I think Duke's best basketball is just worse than what we think it should be, which is why I'm kind of out on them. Arizona has played their best basketball. Michigan's clearly played their best basketball. Illinois is playing their best basketball. I think Yukon has another level they can get to. I would, before I fill my bracket out, I would like to see them get to that level going into the tournament, of course. But I'm comfortable with them playing bad basketball in January.
That's a fair take. Yeah, we want to ideally as we get into February. I mean, we're 4 days away from it. You'll see them sort of kick it up a notch. How's my guy Clay Mullins been doing?
He's got a concussion right now.
Okay, gotcha.
That's his dad that follows us, right? Did you know?
Yeah, Jay Mullins 24. That's my guy.
I thought that was his little brother.
No, his dad's like I did my parts to get Braylon Mullins to Chapel Hill. If Coda to Jameson is still in the chat, just know I think his dad is Justin Mullins. I know his Twitter is JMullins24. I was DMing Justin like, yo, dude. Like I had a scoop from Braylon's dad when I could go back and find it where it was, I tweeted it out. It's like Braylon Mullins, like UNC will be in to see Braylon Mullins this week per his dad, Justin or something. Like Justin, when we were DMing, it was like, dude, Chapel Hill's awesome, but I could tell I didn't really think he was going to end up at Chapel Hill. But he did speak very highly of the program.
I love the idea of you framing it as like you did your part to get him there. In my head, you're the reason he didn't go there. Jay Mullins was like, yo, this Riley dude, we can't have him asking you questions.
His dad, but for real, his dad was super friendly. We just would like, I did ask like, how's the recruitment going? Good luck, all that stuff. We kept it pleasant, and I did not try to be like, yo, come to Chapel Hill. But I was obviously like, yo, when's the staff coming in to see you? And yeah, super friendly, just going back and forth. So I like I said, I did not watch that Yukon game over Villanova, but I was curious how. So Mullins, did he get concussed in that game?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I think he had 14 in the game though.
Gotcha.
Well,
hopefully he recovers quickly because
he was out tonight, but I think he's playing this weekend.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he was. If he continues, like we've seen flashes of it where he was giving them. He's had a couple 17+ point outings, and I go like that Xavier and the Providence game where he was just like lighting them up from three. I love his game. I know you're enamored by it as well, but if he can just get a little more consistent, then I'm with you that UConn can still find another gear. Give him solo balls usage. It's time to make that transition.
For sure. Patrick Wooten said, would love to hear some Duke basketball recap. Dion always downplaying the Blue Devils this year, even after a belt-ass performance and multiple guys in double digits, but it's only Cam Boozer. I did not say it was only Cam Boozer last night. That was not. I said Duke good, Louisville bad. That's what I said. And that's what I believe. Listen, Duke is really good. Really, 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 really good. They're clunky, and College Bevo Gambler said it. They just don't pass the eye test to me. They just do not. Every time I watch Duke, and I watch pretty much all the Duke games. I am a Brotherhood member. They don't pass the eye test to me. You said Cam, then everyone else who doesn't know what they're doing with the ball. Correct. That wasn't about last night, but that's how I feel about the team. I will say that. That is how I feel about the team, but that's not how I feel about last night.
I love the that's not what I said. You literally said this. Correct.
Correct. I did say that. But you said it. I said it. But Patrick said I said that about last night's performance. I did not say that about last night's performance. I don't think a lot of them know what they're doing with the basketball. I think Caleb Foster. What's funny about this year's Duke team, I got clipped maybe my second day on the channel officially for saying that I thought Caleb Foster would, shoot a little bit, play a little defense. I believe those were my exact words. Correct. Boy, was I right. Duke fans ripped me for that. And then Caleb Foster was out the rotation like a week into last year's season. And then this year, he's primarily in the rotation to do what? Shoot a little bit, play a little defense.
Right, that's what he does. I will say with Foster, so man. Oh, okay. So Coda to Jameson pointed out Isaiah Evans is getting to the rim a lot more, which is helping them tremendously. Isaiah Evans is shooting 27.5% from three over the past 4 games. That's a little bit concerning to me, but he is making up for it in other areas, and he does hit big shots. Foster, I will say this, he's pretty good at creating a paint touch, and it's usually Pat Gongba there who's ready to catch a lob, or you can I mean, I don't think he gets as many lobs to like Malik Brown, but Malik Brown's athletic enough to finish a play as well. But I think Foster, his numbers aren't going to blow you away. He hasn't been shooting well recently, but he does enough of like the little things to where it complements Boozer well. And then, College B-Ball Gambler mentioned, he said Homania, Foster, Caden Boozer always look bad to me. I was going to say Homania flipped the game on its head last night with his shooting. Like he really, but then again,
that's like the first game all year he's done that, though.
Yeah, true. Homania's been bad.
Caden, I think Caden's fine, but he's a robot. And Caleb Foster, same thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why I am picking them to win the title, it's primarily the defense, and I just don't think there's like how many teams in the country can guard Cam Boozer, and if you send a double at him, he's just going to pick you apart and find guys cutting around the basket, and like if you're going to double him for 20 minutes. Like that's what Wake Forest did. They doubled him the whole first half, and Boozer would just wait for their defense to break down. And usually someone was late on a tag, and it was like wide open dunk for Malik Brown, wide open dunk for Pat Gongba, Caleb Foster cutting to the rim and finishing. Like they're disciplined, they play hard, and then even though they don't really have like outside of Boozer, I wouldn't say there's necessarily anyone on the roster who I trust to say clear out of the way and create your own shot. It doesn't matter because Cam will just create it for you, and you just got to knock down the three.
Akil said they can guard Cam Boozer. Yuck.
Yuck. I mean, Kohler and Cooper did a pretty good job on him compared to like the rest of the country.
Yuck. I'll tell you what, man. We get if you and I are in Indy together, right, Riley, and let's say we're at a nice bar watching the Final Four. Let's pretend we don't go to the games, right? You and I find a nice bar to watch the Final Four. I get you a little old fashioned on the rocks. And we're sipping together. If the number 2 or 3 over, I'm gonna say number 3. If the number 3 overall pick pulls up to the Final Four and Jackson Kohler and Carson Cooper have him in hell, I don't want to ever hear like, oh, like whatever I said. Like, please don't ever like tell me what I said about Duke if that's how they get put out of here. Give me a break. That's the number 3 overall pick. Jackson Kohler and Carson Cooper will be playing like in the G League, and like Cam will be in the league, and they might get called up to Cam's team, and they get to wear the warm-ups as he's playing, and then he's like, yo, you got to go back to Westchester.
But they might have their moment in the sun if they could knock him out at Indy. Michigan State, low-key sleeper Final Four team. I'll throw Akil that bone.
I love Michigan State. I'm not saying they can't make the Final Four. I think they confuse me. I'm just saying, like, but like if those are the people that's locked down Cam Boozer, with all due respect to them, that tells me everything I need to know about Cam Boozer.
Yeah. That's fair point. I think that would be your vindication for your Duke skepticism all year. So
that's all I'm saying. But I do like Duke. It's just there's not an entertaining. We didn't do a good job guarding him. I thought you guys did good on Cam Boozer in the first half. Not so much in the second half. But we will be back tomorrow. Riley, you're off Wednesdays now, right? Is that like official moving forward?
Yeah, it'll be JK. I was gonna say, there are probably gonna be some weeks where I'm able to swing it and hop on. Maybe we can triple box it with JK and it'll be live from the Y again. But as a whole, the reason why I texted y'all was just Tuesdays generally I have childcare, Wednesdays I don't, and so that just makes things easier. So
it's an open invite for you, Riley.
Appreciate you, sir.
You just have to shoot the text. It's all good. But we'll be back tomorrow. I'll talk to JK. I'm sure he'll be on. Actually, did you want to do Thursday?
What's this? Thursday. Me and you are on the full slate this week.
We are. Are you cool? We can either cancel it or we could build it in. We'll see what the topics look like.
Yeah, let's see what it'd be a nice little change up to mix in a morning after with the shorts and everything. So
we'll see where we're at with everything, but we will try to build it in. But we'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate everybody. Have a good night.